What's going on, guys? Today's video is about this book right here and how it played a major role in me dropping out of college. So let's jump back to 2016 when I was still in school and I was taking a social media marketing class. Now, let's just put some perspective on this. I'm going to shrink myself down here real fast. I googled average cost of college course, and this comes up roughly 600. Okay, so we're just gonna take that as an average. My course, the specific one I was taking, was roughly $800, and plus books on top of that, right? So I'd say over $1,000 is what I was spending on this course, and then obviously there's the time component. So it was 3 days a week, and I believe the class was an hour. Yeah, I think it was an hour. So 3 days a week, an hour. So that's 3 hours a week. And then, obviously there was course material, homework and studying that had to be done, and projects that had to be done. So there was a lot of time that needed to be spent on that outside of class. Okay, so let's say, let me calculate this out real fast. So we've got 3 hours a week, and then let's say outside of class, I don't know. Let's just say 4. So 7 hours a week is what I was spending on this class, and a semester is roughly 4 months. So 4 times those 4 weeks each month, pretty basic here, is 16 weeks. So 16 times those 7 hours is 112 hours, and let's divide that by 24. So 4.6 days of my time plus $1,000 plus dollars of my money was being dedicated to this course, this social media marketing course. At this time, I was running a Kickstarter campaign for a client, and I had not yet at all done any sort of Facebook advertising or pay-per-click advertising or anything like that. I had not even really heard of pay-per-click advertising yet, but I had caught wind of Facebook advertising, but that's really it. Like, just the mention, just had heard that Facebook advertising is happening and people are making money doing it. And so I was in the advertising program at my university, studying advertising, trying to learn advertising. So, Facebook advertising should have been a part of that. And so I was looking for that. And in this class that I was in, the professor had never worked in any industry. Actually, she just went from high school to undergrad to grad school to now teaching this class, which that just boggles my mind. I don't know how we have people teaching things that they've never done. But so anyways, this was a smart move on her part. She decided to bring in a Facebook ad expert to teach us, since she couldn't do it herself. So at least she didn't try to just on a whim try and teach it to us. She brought in an expert. Okay, the expert came in, didn't learn anything from him, honestly. It was just like very general. Walked out of the classroom not knowing how to go run Facebook advertising, and especially not how to make money doing it. And so I was disappointed with that. And then some other kids in the class were as well. And so some other kid piped up. He's like, "Hey, I've actually done a little bit of Facebook advertising. Let me say some things." Again, just didn't really deliver. And so at this point, I took it upon myself to try and learn it. And the way I did that was just simply by going to Google. I went to Google. Let me shrink me down. And this is how it started. It's as simple as this. And for some of you, this is going to be crazy basic, but for others, this should be the biggest piece of advice maybe in your life right now, is search bars. The Google search bar, the YouTube search bar, like, all information is just sitting on the internet. You just got to go search it out. And so that's what I did. I figured, okay, Facebook advertising, I can probably throw some stuff into Google and YouTube and come up with some results. So I came here to the search bar and how to do Facebook advertising. Or maybe I typed in like how to make money with Facebook advertising or something, right? And I started clicking through links and reading things, and then did the same thing on YouTube and started listening to people and reading what people had to say. So as I was running all of these searches on Google and on YouTube and learning and listening to everything that I could, I came across someone who recommended a book and had a link to that book, which is this book right here, which is this one here on Amazon. Okay, so it's this Ultimate Guide to Facebook Advertising. Now I came here and I bought this book for I'm not even sure it was $14.55 at the time. I think it might have been a little bit less even. But anyways, it's $14.55 now. So I bought the book and had Amazon Prime, and so it got to me in 2 days. And by the way, I spent the amount of time I spent searching on Google and YouTube was maybe a couple hours, maybe a couple of hours, probably closer to an hour. And then when the book arrived, I pulled it out of my mailbox. I read it in 2 days, and then on the day after that, so the third day after the book had arrived, I started running Facebook ads. And I spent $1,000 of my own money over the course of the next 2.5-3 weeks and generated $10,000 all through Facebook ads. And so after I did that, after I purchased a book for $14, read it in 2 days, and in the next 2.5 weeks generated $10,000 with Facebook ads, I had to go back and analyze and run some numbers again. And so this is exactly what I did, and it's really pretty crazy how this plays out, but this is how it went. So the social media marketing class, it was just that. It was supposed to teach how to market and advertise via social media. And it, like we said, was about $1,000, and time-wise required for a complete 4.6 days of my time. Okay, and the end result was me not learning Facebook advertising. So I spent that $1,000, spent the 4.6 days, and still didn't learn Facebook advertising. But when I went to Google and ran some searches and started seeking things out on my own, this is what happened. The book cost me $14. Time. I said I'd read the book in 2 days. I didn't spend a straight 48 hours reading the book, so it probably took me, I don't really know, to be honest. I don't know. Let's just say 8 hours to read the book. Okay, so that's 10 hours, and then I had to spend time setting up Facebook ads, like actually inside of Facebook Power Editor, doing that. And I doubt it took this long, but just to be super generous, let's say that took even 4 hours. Like that probably took maybe an hour. So right now we're sitting at 14 hours. What other time can I add in there? And then the time that I spent managing my ads and creating a couple new ones over the course of the next 2.5 weeks. Let's call that 6 hours, although I still think that's not super accurate. So now we're at 20 hours. And I don't think I can really add in much more there for time. So 20 hours. Okay, let's do this. So up here, the ROI was, and we're going to say 0. It was. Like that's kind of, honestly, kind of hard for me to say. I'm not one of those people who wants to hate super hard on the college and educational system, but that's the case. It's just the facts. And then the ROI here. So I guess there should be one more cost here. I had to spend $1,000 on ads. But I generated 10,000. So let's subtract the 1,000 from the 10,000. We're at 9,000, and then the book 14. If you want to subtract that out, but basically the ROI, we're gonna call it $9,000. Okay, so these are pretty huge differences here, like ginormous differences. $1,000 was spent on each of these, but the time that was required, like 20 hours, that's not even a quarter of the amount of time that I spent up here in the class. And the ROI for the class was 0. So $1,000, 4.6 hours resulted in a 0 ROI. $1,000 and 20 hours resulted in a $9,000 ROI. The power of the internet, like all information is just sitting on the internet right now. If you're the type of person who's willing to go run the searches, learn on your own, and then implement those steps, it is the most efficient way you can do it. And by the way, I probably should mention this 1,000 that I spent right here. I wasn't just sitting on like piles of cash. That was like that was a bit for me to pick up and throw at like first time doing advertising, but went for it and did it, and it turned out great. So that's really all I wanted to explain with this video is just that if you're willing to self-learn and self-implement, there is huge opportunity. And another reason why self-learning and being able to go to Google and YouTube and efficiently learn things and put things into practice is because our educational systems, as I've just shown you, are not doing that. They're way behind. And so you being the type of person who's able to go do that, you just put yourself ahead of pretty much all of college. Like all people coming out of college, you've already put yourself ahead of them. And that's what I started, again, with these numbers that I just laid out. That's what I started to realize is just like, it wasn't about me being better than anyone else or anything, but it was just about like, whoa, wait a second. I did that, and I did it for like such a small amount of money and small amount of time. Everybody's hyping up college classes, textbooks, tuition, but that's actually not what's leading to real numbers. I hope it's encouraging for you. I hope you can see that it's completely possible to learn things on your own and see huge results come from that. And power of the internet, Google searches, YouTube searches. And if you do want to learn how to do Facebook advertising, I definitely recommend this book. It taught me how to do it. I'll place a link down in the description below. It'll bring you right here to this page so you can snag it, and you'll have it in 2 days if you're Prime. Alright, that's a wrap. Drop a big thumbs up for being able to search things on the internet, because that is a super dope thing to be able to do. Smash that sub button so you don't miss any more of my upcoming videos, enable notifications, but most importantly,